Norden 901. We're going to put a center stand on it. Nothing stock, ordered aftermarket. It's strapped up right now. Chuck the front. Side stands down but not touching. We're nice and centered. Going to gather the parts. As you may have seen from some other videos, the manual for this is not super easy to find. Somebody was saying the part number was not searchable on the KTM site. I've got all of our parts with it. Center stand sitting beside the bike right now. Got some light blue Loctite. Needle nose for the springs. Couple ratchets, hex T, assembly grease. That should be it. Let's get at it. All right, instructions were online. Just search on the Husqvarna website. So the chain side, gonna take out the bottom T45. On the brake side, gonna take the bottom and the second one up underneath the foot pegs here. So once you've got these two removed, the spacer should drop out for you. On our chain side, if you back off this left screw just a little bit, doesn't need to be too much. Same thing for spacer here. All right, a couple steps at once. Here's the old bolts and spacers. Kit comes with two new bolts for the right side, so the non-chain side. We've got a little pin here to hold our spring mount. So this will go in, same thing, non-chain side. And we've got to get our new spacers, grease the O-rings, a little bit of construction grease, bearing grease. Get these guys on, popped into the corresponding holes on the center stand, and then we're going to slide them back up into place. So I'll grease these up, get them in, probably use the new bolts, and I've got some Loctite for the other one coming onto the other side here. We'll get this guy up. I'll take a video of that in just a sec. All right, we're on the brake side. Angle's a little bit awkward. When I come behind, you'll see the return spring for the brake. So on the inside of that is the back of our bolt where our spacer goes, right in the middle, and just above it, back of the bolt where our spacer goes, and just above it is an open thread. This is going to get our spring holder here. Torque spec is 15 Newton meters on this guy. There's no way I can get my torque wrench in here on this, so I am tightening it up to about 15 Newton meters by feel. All right, so we got the spring plate on. This has got the hooks on the end of the springs facing outwards in the diagram. I'm just gonna follow that. Spring hook, this side, kick side is on the same side as the kickstand, and we're gonna get this positioned right where those spacers are supposed to go. Perfect. Because we left the one bolt in this one side, there's still some tension on there. This is holding in nicely. A little looser on this side because we have the two out, but we're gonna have to mount the other spring plate on here. All right, sorry, that was a stopper plate, not the spring plate. So this guy is going to get mounted, there we go, on the brake side. We got this going in to work as the stopper. Oop, wrong way around. That makes sense. Throw a washer on there and a lock nut. We'll get that tightened up and adjusted once it's on. All right, missed a crucial step. Got two little spacers here that just go in this guy prior to the plate going on. That way, when we torque everything up, you've got the metal spacers against the metal on the inside of this foot bracket here. Holds it nice and flat. Torques back to 45 Newton meters. There we go. Action clears our plate. That's nice. Sits nicely. Springs will get hooked up in a minute. 45 Newton meters on these two, and then on the other side, we're gonna 45 Newton meters on the other two. Again, we loosened that top one on the clutch side, so we're gonna make sure just everything is all buttoned up nice and tight. This guy for the spring plate holders already spec to torque. We'll tighten these guys up, then we'll get our springs loaded up. All right, KTM Husqvarna has done us nice here. We do not need to screw around with trying to get these springs on with a spring puller. These guys are going to be nice and tight. So we've got our secondary spring plate here. Oh, we are so close. So they are going to make us mess around with that a little bit. That's fine. Not that far to pull it, if you can see. Let's see if I can do it by hand. Probably not. Yeah, not at this angle. I'll grab some pliers. Hold on. All right, spring number one is on. We're gonna get this up on the center stand. That should be the most slack point for the springs. Second one hooked up. We'll adjust this guy once it's back down on the side stand, just to make sure it's not bouncing around when you're riding. All right, we're up on the center stand. Obviously, remember to double check your torques on everything before you start using the center stand. Let's see if we can get this second spring on. As you can see, we're a lot closer to it here now. Gonna use the same technique. Get some needle nose, flathead holding the bottom of the needle nose to give you some leverage. And try to get the shaft of that screwdriver out of the hole that the spring is going to go into. Pull up on the screwdriver, gives you a bit of leverage, and you're good to go. All right, let's get this guy tightened up. I like the position. We are pretty flat. Clearance here. Chain clearance, no issues. Clearance with the skid plate, no issues. Down at the bottom, it's bouncing up nice and tight. Decent amount of pressure to get it to bounce, so that shouldn't bounce around when you're riding too much. That is always adjustable if you do find it's rattling around a little bit. Let's get this lock nut on the bumper watch cleaned up, and it's good to go. All right, everything's buttoned up. It works. Congratulations, you've installed a center stand on your 2022, likely 23 and 24 Norden 901, or your KTM 890 Adventure. There's nothing to like, there's nothing to follow. That's that. Happy riding.